There are over 13 SML characters who have been canonically killed off forever, and today we're gonna find out what happened to every single one of them, starting with the most infamous SML character of all time, Nancy. She was first introduced in SML movie Jeffy's Parents, where quickly it's apparent she is a horrible and abusive mother to Jeffy, and in this video Jeffy got sent off to live with Nancy because she's his real mom, but it turns out she was only using Jeffy for the money and trying to get the $1 million trust fund when Jeffy turns 18, but he quickly escapes by jumping out of a moving car because he does not want to go through the hell of living with her again, and thankfully Mario decides to adopt Jeffy when he gets back to the house, and later on Nancy gets sent to jail. But this isn't the end of Nancy, because in SML movie Jeffy's 18th birthday, Nancy manages to escape jail and kidnap Jeffy, but later on when they're going through the field, Simmons shoots out the gas cap of her van, and we think she's dead because she didn't escape the explosion like Screwball and Jeffy did. But this wasn't the case because we see her again in Jeffy's 19th birthday, where she's somehow still alive. How did she survive that? She literally is the William Afton of SML. But in the end of the video, Nancy gets absolutely lit up by Brooklyn Guy, and she finally dies for good this time because we see in SML movie Satan Claus, Nancy is in hell. And the craziest part is this might not even stick. Why do I have a feeling she's somehow gonna come back in Jeffy's 21st birthday? I literally have no idea how they would do this, but I'm sure they'll find a way. But another character who was killed off forever is Does Bad Things Guy. And if you didn't know, Does Bad Things Guy was one of Brooklyn Guy's 8 billion brothers. And out of all of his brothers, this was his only identical twin, with the only difference being he is super evil. Does Bad Things Guy first appeared in SML movie The New House, but the thing is we didn't actually know him yet. He pretends for almost 7 real-life months to be Brooklyn Guy, and despite him literally being a serial killer, he doesn't kill the SML family just yet. But this would soon change in SML movie The Secret Door. When Jeffy opens the door, Does Bad Things Guy told him not to open, and it actually ended up being the place where he stored all of his victims. And then Does Bad Things Guy tries to kill Mario's family, but Brooklyn Guy came in at just the right time and shot Does Bad Things Guy, killing him forever. It's kind of a shame. He was about to kill Rosalina. I just wish Brooklyn Guy would have came a little bit later so we wouldn't have to deal with her annoying voice.
Let's cut out your tongue, yeah. That should be worth a picture. Shut up! You're next! Alright, let's see, what do I use for this? Ooh, where's my saw? What?
The next character who was killed off forever is my boy Mama Luigi, and a lot of you watching this video might not know him, but he was a character in SML who first appeared in the Mario and Luigi Stupid and Dumb Adventure series. Believe it or not, he was the character who made SML initially blow up. He was basically the Jeffy before Jeffy in terms of popularity and also stupidness. But Mama Luigi got killed off at the end of the original Mario and Luigi Stupid and Dumb Adventure series. And the only reason for this was the voice actor for him had to move halfway across the country, and he couldn't film with Logan anymore, so they made one final video to kill off his character. And we've never seen Mama Luigi since then. That is until 2017, when Logan flew out Zeke and they filmed the Toad's Mistake remake. But this wasn't canon because it was a remake. Also, Zeke later turned out to be a PDF file, so it's a good thing that Logan stopped filming with him. Mama Luigi hasn't been seen since then, but Luigi came back to SML in some form in SML movie Marvin's Brother, and low-key, they were pushing it a little close with some of the references in this one. They're really just asking to get sued again.
You all want to just get together and play a game of Marvin Party?
Oh, Marvin, that's the last straw. Been nice knowing you. Pack it up, everybody, because they're gonna shut us down, so get ready for that. Hey, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Maybe we can hit 10 million before they finally shut us down for good.
But speaking of Pumpkin Guy, the next character who got killed off forever is Brooklyn Guy's son, who only appeared in one video called SML Movie The Call of Duty Blackout. He was just super annoying and bratty, and he even tried taking Black Yoshi's Call of Duty. And you know how protective he gets over these types of things. So as soon as Brooklyn Guy's son tried to take his game, he got a bullet straight to the face, and what's crazy is that Brooklyn Guy was actually happy about this because he wouldn't have to pay child support anymore.
No, you won't. What?
Yeah, give it to me. I need it now.
What, Black Yoshi?
Oh, you are not gonna get my Call of Duty.
I'm about to unravel.
Black Yoshi.
No.
Oh, Die, fool!
And ever since then, he was never seen again. But what happened to Chompy, who last appeared in Precious the Rapper? And we haven't seen him since. And we can assume since dogs don't live very long and his first appearance was in 2015, he's probably dead. And the cease and desist letter means that we can't see him anymore either way, because, well, he's a Nintendo character. So yeah, he's probably canonically dead. But whatever happened to Harold? If you didn't know, Harold is actually Mario's grandpa. And just like Chompy, we haven't seen him since 2019. So we can assume since he was an old man, he probably just died off camera. That's not even mentioning the fact that he was always clueless. Like, bro never even knew where he was.
Pudding first, then the men.
Grandpa, I don't have time for these games. You're 87, not 8 years old. You need to take your medicine.
I need to take my pudding. You don't have a girlfriend, you homo. You're trying to fool with them all wrong.
Grandpa, I'm not gay. I'm not homo. No.
Where you going, homo?
Next up is Feebee, and the way she died is actually really sad. If you didn't know, Feebee was actually Jeffy's sister, and she lived in a cage with him when they used to live with their mom, Nancy. But one day, Nancy, being the negligent mother she was, wasn't watching Feebee or Jeffy when they were playing. So Feebee was riding a bike and accidentally went out into the road, where she got hit by a car and sadly died. And this actually got people theorizing about who killed Feebee. One potential suspect is Woody, because he's always been a terrible driver. Or it might have even been Black Yoshi, because he's known to steal cars and drive recklessly. So it could have been him too. But the most likely person to kill Feebee, in my opinion, is CJ. Think about it. He has a long history of doing bad things to Feebee, and we see him do outright disturbing actions in Jeffy's 20th birthday. And maybe it was all this that eventually caused Jeffy to crash and drive a monster truck into him, being the perfect revenge for killing his sister. Next is Shark Puppet. If you didn't know, on the first video made on the Super Bowser Logan channel, they actually did a collab with the popular YouTuber at the time called Shark Puppet, who has millions of subscribers. And Shark Puppet died in this video being eaten by a massive shark.
Daddy! Mr. Sharky went back with his mommy!
Oh, that wasn't his mommy. I saw it. He got eaten by a big shark. He's dead. Let's go home.
And they haven't done another collab since, so I guess this death was actually canon. Wait, before we continue, I'm gonna tell you guys about CyberGhost VPN. I've actually been using CyberGhost a lot lately, and I gotta say, it's kind of fire. With just one click, I can switch my location to literally anywhere, so I can watch SML anywhere around the world. I'm talking malware trackers, fake links, basically anything Jeffy would click on. In addition, plenty of eyes are watching you every time you go online. And even incognito mode doesn't prevent that, and that's where CyberGhost VPN comes in. Simply select one of their over 100 locations before you browse the internet. CyberGhost also unlocks geo-restricted games and content from over 40 streaming platforms, like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and so much more. It works on all major devices and operating systems, like Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, basically everything. And you can protect up to 7 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with your family and friends. With over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, it's one of the best VPNs out there. And the best part, you can try it too. Click my link in the description and get my special offer for only $2.03 a month. Plus 4 months for free with a 45-day money-back guarantee. So you basically have nothing to lose. Go click my link and try CyberGhost right now. Trust me, you won't regret it. Anyway, back to the video. Next up is Harry. And the reason he was even a character in the first place was because when the cough cough was still a thing, Pablo, the voice actor for Cody and Brooklyn guy, didn't want to get his family sick, so he refused to voice characters in person. So SML had to improvise and add a new nerd character to replace Cody, which happened to be Harry, and he pretty much acted exactly like Cody, except he was British, and they used him for a while until Pablo finally decided to come back. So they made one final video called Cody Meets Harry, where pretty much Cody made a stupid ray and used it on Harry. He was banished to the closet forever, and ever since then, we've never seen him again. And he can't even come back if he wanted to, because Logan recently uploaded a vlog explaining that he lost the old Harry puppet, and he thinks Pablo burned him. And I wouldn't even blame bro. That would be so funny.
Can you help me find another Harry puppet? Because Harry was basically like a really smart British nerd character that Lance voiced. We replaced Cody with Harry while Pablo was gone.
Next up is Precious, who technically isn't an SML character, but she's had a few videos made about her, so she's on this list anyway. And the story for this one is actually really sad, because Precious actually died in real life, and she had a whole tribute video made about her, which I find so wholesome. Rest in peace, Precious.
PRECIOUS. That's my cat. That's my dog. That's my N-word.
Next up is Drawing Jeffy, who kind of got killed off forever. He died in SML movie Jeffy Sneaks Out, where Jeffy uses his magic powers to make a clone of himself, to make it seem like he's still there when he sneaks out. But this backfires horribly, because the next thing you know, Jeffy's clone is stood there with a gun pointed at Rosalina and Mario. But that's when the real Jeffy comes home and tackles Drawing Jeffy, and Mario grabs the gun and shoots him. But for some reason, he actually comes back just once in SML movie Mario Sells Jeffy, so he's not technically dead, but this video was in 2020, so maybe he passed away, or hell, maybe he's still out there, I have no idea. But what about Jeffy's dad, Jacques Pierre François? And this one is weird, because for years he was technically considered dead, and this is the entire reason why Nancy wanted Jeffy so bad, so she could get her inheritance money. But we see in Jeffy's 18th birthday that he was actually alive this whole time, so I guess he was kind of dead in the eyes of everyone but himself? I don't know. But finally, we have Jimmy Butler, who started off as a character who Brooklyn Guy would watch and support for the Miami Heat basketball team. However, slowly but surely, Jimmy Butler would start marketing his coffee business and start getting worse at basketball, which pissed off Brooklyn Guy so many times, and he reaches his breaking point and Brooklyn Guy tries to help, where bro literally just gets sick of Jimmy and shoots him.
This reminds me of Colombia. You know, that's where I grow my coffee. I know, Jimmy. I know. Just think about the coffee, Jimmy. There's just so many different kinds of coffees. There's lattes and cappuccinos and cold brews and espressos. You know, my coffee contains smile matter. May cause happiness. I know, Jimmy. How do you take your coffee? Cream and 2 sugars, Jimmy. Cream and 2 sugars.
Don't forget to click my special link in the description, giving everybody watching this video a discount for CyberGhost VPN. This application will protect your data while you browse and give you full access to blocked content on the internet for only $2.03 a month. It's totally risk-free, so go check it out, link in the description.